Welcome back. This is KTN News Desk and I am Akisa Wandera. Let's now cross over to Meru, where the Governor, Kiraitu Murungi, is currently overseeing the launch of Twaweza Women Empowerment Program sponsored by Safaricom.
This program is properly, legally and formally launched.
Asante sana. We wish now to request His Excellency and Her Excellency, closely followed by the chairperson and the honorable member of North Imenti, to step forward, watufungulie sasa rasmi hapo, na umesikia gavana ashawapatia nafasi sasa ya kusonga mbele. Mabibi na mabwana, wakati ni sasa, nitahesabu na DJ naona tupatie wimbo mzuri sana katika pale. Mimi nitakuwa huku, watu wa kamera ndio wanaona, tafadhali tutaendelea na microphone nyingine. Declaration in happen hapa.
Welcome back. You are watching KTN News Desk. Of course, that is the launch of Twaweza Women Empowerment Program that is currently ongoing in the county of Meru. Our reporter George Maringa is there for us. He will be joining us shortly. So yesterday, the courts suspended the recruitment of Cuban doctors whom the first batch already jetted into the country on Tuesday. Of course, the fate currently still remains unknown, even as 50 more Cuban doctors are expected to arrive into the country on Thursday, which is today. I want us to quickly take a look at just the chronology of events and how things have been since the government announced that they will be importing Cuban doctors. A lot of controversy has dogged this particular move by the government. The Cabinet Secretary for Health has been at pains to explain why they are bringing in doctors, foreign doctors, when the union, the KMPDU, even questions that there are unemployed doctors in the country who are fit to do the same job that the foreign doctors are being imported to do. So let's just take a look at how things have been, a chronology of events as far as the imputation of the Cuban doctors is concerned. This particular conversation has been ongoing and on the limelight for a while now, and it all begins on of course, the 27th of April, when the Cabinet Secretary for Health, Cicely Kariuki, officially signed the deal to have the Cuban doctors in the country. So, of course, it all began when that particular signing began on the 27th of April. Cicely Kariuki, the Health Cabinet Secretary, went all the way to Cuba to oversee this. So immediately after this, we saw the KMPDU doctors, of course, led by the Secretary General, Dr. Uma Oluga, say that they think this was done in very bad taste, especially when they have hundreds of doctors in the country who are trained, well qualified, and can do the same job. So among the things that Dr. Uma Oluga said in that particular statement were, of course, the pay, the kind of security, and the amenities that these particular Cuban doctors will be getting. So, of course, on the 5th of June, we saw the first batch of the Cuban doctors jet into the country. But before that, we also saw one of the doctors file a petition in court saying that they really do not want, they want to stop the recruitment of these doctors because there was no competitive, or the procedure was not done right. Of course, the first time the Employment and Labor Relations Court refused to suspend this particular move, hence how we saw 50 of the doctors jet into the country on Tuesday. But yesterday, the same court as well halted the importation of doctors until that particular case has been heard. Remember, even as this happens, the doctors are expected to undergo a 2 weeks induction process that is expected to begin on the 8th of June. So that's how things have been medical correspondent, Dr. Mercy Korir, continues to work on this very closely and, of course, looking at the pros and cons, if any, in this particular situation. It'll be interesting to hear what Kenyans have to say about this. Remember, the county of Kisumu is one of those that are expected to be the pilot for universal healthcare, and of course the improvised kind. Let's just speak to Kevin Ogutu, who now joins us live from Kisumu. Kevin, a lot of controversy surrounds the deployment of Cuban doctors into the country. Kisumu is one of the areas that expect these doctors and specialists to work, according to documents we have seen from the ministry. What are the kind of reactions and expectations from the locals as far as these deployments are concerned?
A very good afternoon, Akisa. Actually, quite interesting twist there regarding the importation of doctors from Cuba. That directive to bar them from practicing coming after they've jetted into the country. But now talking about universal health coverage and universal health care and the counties that have been pilots in this particular scheme. We have Kisumu as one of them, Isiolo, Machakos, and of course Nyeri. And so probably we may need to ask ourselves, what does universal health care involve? So Professor Peter Nyang'nyong, who is the Kisumu County Governor and who is the governor of one of the counties in the universal health care schemes project, piloting for that matter, actually say that in a universal health care means that there should be a properly working referral system. And that means that at the dispensary there should be facilities fit for the dispensary, and after that there should be facilities fit for the referrals, and that is supposed to be the proper channel. Everyone who has got minor things need to go to the nearby facility, and where they should be guaranteed of proper services moving that way. And because he was saying that the failure to actually have this properly working referral system is what makes actually provision of healthcare a bit of a headache. And so talking about Cuban doctors and Kisumu County, I'll be talking to some of the residents to ask them what they probably think, what are their expectations regarding all this that's going on here. And I'll start with Evelyn. Evelyn, tafadhali tuko kwenye KTN News. Matarajio yako ni yapi kuhusiana na daktari ambao wametoka Cuba?
Ninafurahia because wamekuja kutusaidia. Wakuje tena tumependelea sana. Wakuje wasaidie madaktari zetu wenye wako, at least washughulikie wagonjwa, because kuna failure unapata ukienda hospitali, wengine wanafanyia operation wanakufa. Sasa tunafurahia wakikuja. Yeah.
Kwa hivyo una swala mahususi ungependa kushughulikiwa na daktari kama hao?
Kuna madaktari lakini siwezi kuwajua majina. Huwa nikienda saa zingine unapata relative mwingine amefanyia operation then akakufa, lakini by now wenye watu au wanakuja kutoka Cuba tunafurahia wakuje watusaidie.
Okay. That is it from Evelyn. If we could have time, kindly tell us what are your expectations regarding the importation of Cubans? What do you understand about all this?
Okay, my expectation is that the Cuban doctors are going to improve the healthcare delivery in Kenya. They are coming up with new ideas and skills which will help improve the skills of our doctors within the country. So I'm expecting much from them, and I feel they are going to improve the healthcare delivery in this country.
Do you know what their specialties are? Do you know what they are coming to do?
Okay, what they are coming to do, I'm not much aware about, but I think they are going to improve the delivery of healthcare system in this country.
Okay, and lastly, just on the same, probably could tell our viewers what your expectations are regarding all this. First of all, what do you understand? What do you understand made the move behind the importation of these doctors? From where you sit as a Kenyan citizen?
Well, thank you for the opportune moment. For the Cuban doctors, we've got lots of expectations from them. Number one, we expect they would improve the services rendered to the Kenyans. Number two, they would also extend to the rurals so that the healthcare services are within reach instead of covering long distances for you to gain access to the health services. Besides that, also, instead of maybe traveling across, you've seen so many conditions whereby you've got to travel across so that you gain access to the services. They'll be at the doorstep or within your reach. So that would be a kudos to the government of Kenya, and of course it will improve the health services of the Kenyans at large.
Okay.
Yeah.
Akisa, from just a few random sampling of what the residents of Kisumu think of, it is clear that actually these particular doctors from Cuba are very much welcome in this city, which happens to be one of the 4 where the piloting of the universal health coverage is being done. And still on matters health, Akisa, this morning the High Court, Kisumu Court actually slapped Aga Khan Hospital with a 3 million damage fees regarding a negligence that occurred. And I'm sure that story must be in the pipeline, Akisa.
Definitely. Thank you, Kevin, for that update. Of course, mixed reactions there from residents in Kisumu, which is one of the counties that is the pilot for the universal healthcare project in the country currently. I want us to now quickly also move to a live press briefing currently by the Kenya Pipeline Corporation and just listen to the updates being given on that end currently. All right, we'll take a short break. We'll be back with more. Don't go too far.